Hey guys, how's it going? Getting this set up. All right, looks like we're rolling. So let me share these pages. All right, share now. How you guys doing? Can you hear me okay? Is this working? Let's share on my page. All right. So with this week, we are continuing to sculpt on Tom Bancroft's design. Just make sure we're rocking. Hey, what's up, Bay? All right. Let's get this going too, but all right. Hey, it looks like YouTube's going. All right. Just gonna pop open Facebook here, just to make sure we're all working out. Let's see. Okay. Hey, what's up, me? Hey, February 72-year-old newbie. Just finished binge watching all 90 episodes of your stream. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Fascinated by your work. In your next enrollment period for the workshop, I do believe I'll sign on. I'm retired and not interested in a new career, but I think, you know, there are a lot of hobbyists in there, a lot. You'd be surprised. And there are a lot that aren't too far off from your age as well. So I wouldn't hesitate if you're thinking about it. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, you'd be welcome. And it's actually enrollment is going on right now. So if you want to hop in there, you can check it out. Just go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and you'll see. Here, I'll show you really fast. Oh, not the community. Sorry, this is my community. If you just go to the front page of 3D Character Workshop and click right here, Shane's Workshop, and watch the presentation now. You can watch it, and you can enter now if you want. I feel like something's making a weird noise. I don't know what it is. It sounds like I don't know what's going on. Make sure everything's muted here. Can you guys hear me okay? Does it sound good? Hey, thanks, Quana. Thanks, Neil. All right. So let's turn this down. All right, maybe it was my speakers. I don't know what's going on. Tell me if you guys hear some weirdness, because I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, okay. So I wanted to continue on with the body. We're not too far off as far as like starting to get the hair in and the eyes and things like that tuned in. Yep, this concept is done by Tom Bancroft, and he is the one who started MerMay, which was draw a new mermaid every single day based on some prompts that he listed. And I decided to. This is actually his mermaid that he's doing an animated short with his brother Tony. So both of them are traditional Walt Disney animators from the Florida studio. Back in the day, I believe Tom worked on. I know he worked on Mulan. I'm not sure exactly what other shows. He might have worked on Lion King. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, fantastic guy. Love Tom. He's amazing. Okay, let's get in here. Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing? Sound is neat. All right, that's a good one. Haven't heard that before, but sound is neat. Okay. I wonder if it's... Oh, you know what? It's this water bottle. It's like, it has this watertight lid thing on here. So it was making some like, and I have ice water in here, so it's making some weird noises. I kept hearing it out of the corner of my... I was like, what in the world is that noise? Stop it. Okay. Anyway, figured it out. Got to the bottom of it. Okay. There we go. I just want to get some eyebrows in place. And I want to shrink her whole entire head down because her lower face is, I think it feels smaller than what I have here. Oh, you did Quanta? Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, that was a really nice one too. Which is going to make her neck longer, but I think it's going to get her more in the realm of the concept. And then I'm going to bring her whole, instead of bringing her head and her hair and everything down, I'm going to bring her body up with her arms. So I'm going to move her arms down in this list. And then, let's see, I'm just going to combine these two because I need to combine them anyway. So I'm going to merge this down. Okay, now they're in the same group, and then just reset my gizmo. And then raise her body up to fix that neck. It's a little better. And then I have a lot of heads here. I'm going to delete these heads because I don't need them any longer. Okay. Now we're good to go. Yeah, you know what? Children are very hard to draw, trying to get them to look young, because yeah, they have a bigger head, but they still have big eyes. It's interesting. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to bring some hands in that I've already done before or block them in. I'm trying to decide. Let's see what I have here. This is from a hand lesson that I did for my students. I think I'm going to... Yeah, I think I might bring in this hand here. Or maybe the chunkier hand. It says it's male, but yeah, I think I'm going to snag these fingers from this hand. I'm cheating a little bit. Okay, where did they go? Oh, it's tiny. Okay. Hey, what's up, NLT? How's it going? I'm not cheating. Who's cheating? Thanks, Neil. Neil said so I'm good. Okay, delete hidden. Line this up a little better. Then mirror it. Where are you? Subtool master. There we go. Mirror. Boom. Okay. Let's save this. Twitch. Tom Gunn, Bancroft, Mermaid 2. There we go. Right? Well, if you've done it enough times, there's no reason to block it in again. But it does. The thing is with bringing in models, and I always tell my students this, bringing in even parts of models from somewhere else, it will influence your design. So you need to know how to get past that other design and just use it as actual objects and push it way past what it is to begin with. Hey, what's up, Angry? How's it going? Okay, so for her hands, I'm just going to make them a little more feminine on here and then kind of taper them down a little more. Okay, so I'm just going to use just smooth and taper them down. Not that fast though. Hey Gavar, I'm going to show you in a minute how to combine these all together. Well, I had, oops, I didn't turn symmetry on. Hold on. Gosh dang it. Let me roll this back. Okay. There we go. So I need to turn symmetry on at this point. Oops, I didn't mean to fill it. Okay. So essentially I just borrowed some hands from another model that I did a while ago. Okay, I'm gonna taper it, and then eventually I'm gonna combine these together, but not right now. I'm just gonna taper these fingers down so they're a bit more feminine. There we go, and then thicken the ends of them, or where the connections of them a little bit more. Not too much because I still want some space in between the fingers. Okay. Oops. Okay, now I'm just going to merge the body with the hands just by selecting the body and just hit merge down. But they're not connected, they're still separate objects. And then I'm trying to decide what I want to do with the tail and the connection point right here. If I just want to fade it off into the torso, or actually look like she's wearing like pants, you know. Hey, what's up, Tutti Frutti? How's it going? And then I'll make this this cover up here, and then add some earrings and some hair. We'll do it all. All right. Damn standard's the key. Oh, for the separation? No, usually if I make things out of two different materials, I'll split them. I'll separate them off. And I'm thinking about doing that right now. I might. Let me check out Tom's little. Tom sent me a color sheet thing. Where is it? This right here. Okay, that's interesting. So on this one, it's a bit of a different design, but the color is similar. So Tom didn't color this one, but he drew it. So this one has kind of a, you know, like a belt thing, like a thing of scales, which is interesting. I might do that with her, but I'm not sure. And because he has a separation belt thing too, and she doesn't. So I'm wondering, yeah, fading it, like fading the color from, if her tail is pink, fading it into the skin tone, so there's no separation line, so it just kind of fades in. I I've seen that done before, and it's pretty effective because it makes it feel like the tail is actually part of her and not pants, you know, or some kind of a costume that she's wearing. Whereas like a belt like this makes it feel like it's not necessarily part of her. It's just she's wearing it. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to decide how I want to do it. I think I might separate them and do kind of a belt thing this way, just for ease of material. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay. So maybe here. Oh, awesome, Ezra. That'd be great. Actually, I'm going to isolate this. Do auto groups. So it puts these two tail pieces in their own groups. Okay, like this. And then I want to hide just this. Let me see. Maybe right there. Yeah. Whoops. Okay, and put this upper portion in its own polygroup. That way there's a separation right there. Do that. And then I'm going to split her tail off into its own subtool. And how you can do that is just isolate it, hide both of these, and do a split hidden, which will, now they're separate. Okay, go back to this torso. And I do, whenever I do something like this, I like to keep my models watertight, so I'll close the holes on this. I can just do that by hitting close holes. And it'll fill it with triangles. It's not the best, but it'll work for what I'm going to be doing here. Mirror and weld. Let's see, come on, mirror and weld. There we go. Then I'm going to stitch it together. Oh, thanks, Ezra. Appreciate it. Then I want to inflate this. Just so it's kind of, it goes past the connection point, or the tail. So it's like into the tail. And then I'm going to make the tail a little larger to overlap it. Okay. Bring her tummy down a bit. Not too much. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate this and stitch it all together. Remesh by union, which will stitch it all. Hit accept. You know what? Before I do that, I think what I want to do is I want to make everything the same density. So I'm going to ZRemesh it first. Thanks, Neil. You probably have that on a button, right? Make sure. Okay. So let's do a ZRemesh at about a 4. Keep groups. Oh, hey, Mike. Thanks. Glad you could catch me. That's cool. Have you ever had ZBrush only create one undo level for a tool? Like, no, not that I know of. Like, are you having an issue with that, Dan? Okay, I think I'm going to turn that. I want more density in the hands because it's losing some of that detail, but not that I care too much. We'll go with 5. And I'm going to turn smooth groups down to like a 0.5. See what that gives me. Okay, this is better. So now the torso has the same density as the arms. So this is how you do it. So this is how I do it. You can either Dynamesh it. Dynamesh will stitch things together as long as they're all in the same subtool. Or you can go to this gear and go to remesh by union, and that will stitch everything together like this. See all the stitches? And then I hit accept, and now it's all stitched together, but it's really not the best mesh because it has stitches now. So I can't really sculpt on this very well. So the next thing I'll do is I'll ZRemesh it again and see if I can get it cleaner. So I'm going to duplicate this again. I like to duplicate my subtools just in case I need to go back. Hey, what's up, Tom? How's it going? Hey, Robert. Yep, symmetry. Thank you. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to hit ZRemesher. I'm going to try keep groups. Usually I don't, but sometimes I'll try it just to see. There we go. Not too awful down in here. And I did keep the group on the bottom. Okay. You know what? That'll work. I can live with that. Okay. And let's just keep going. So symmetry's still on. Hey, what's up, Sam? How's it going? Thank you so much. So I need to clean this up. Smooth it out. So now it's quads instead of those triangles, so it's easier to deal with. Even though it looks like an end of a Vienna sausage. Sorry, I'm cracking myself up. Do you guys know what Vienna sausages are? I don't know if I want to look it up. Dangerous. Oh, they're so gross. Look at these things. See how they're kind of like a cylinder, but the end is kind of like pushed out? Weird Vienna sausages. Look at those things. Bizarre things. Amy, yes. So I teach an online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop, and I actually have a beginner series. It's a 10-part series where I walk a friend of mine. His name is Adam Manoa. He's a professional illustrator, and I walk him through his first day of ZBrush. Yum yuck is right. Okay. So there's her torso kind of smoothed out. Well, as far as the connection point down here. Blood. Just that name, blood. That just can't be good. Blood. Who would eat that? Blood sausage. Ugh. It's like eating somebody's finger. All right. Sorry, grossing myself out. Probably grossing you guys out. Okay. So yeah, if you go, I'll give you a little behind the scenes tour really fast to show you. Okay. So once you go inside the course, once you purchase it, this is what it looks like. There's the 3D Character Workshop itself and a whole bunch of additional training and resources. This male bust mini course is beginner / intermediate-ish. A lot of beginners really like this one. And this is what I'm talking about, the early beginner walkthrough. If you click on that, you can see there's 10 videos. I like the comments on the last video. You know, people really enjoy this series. So see, these videos helped a lot, especially when it comes to surface, blah, blah, blah. Lots of comments. Great stuff. So yes, it's for absolute beginners. Okay. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, so if you just, again, if you're interested, just go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and just click on the watch presentation, and you can head on in there and check it out and see if it's right for you. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom here. good tune insects. I did have a glance at your Pinterest, but I was all out of luck. So it's interesting because cartoon anything is essentially just a simplification and exaggeration of something that exists. So a funny thing that you can do is look up clip art. So if you're looking for cartoons in something specific, just type in like praying mantis clip art or something like that. And there are a lot of bad ones, but occasionally you'll find a well-designed, if you're looking for a specific insect. So, hey, what's up, Charlie? Thank you so much. Okay, so here we're working on the fin. We're just going to do the same thing, close holes. It'll close in that top with triangles like this. Okay, and I can do a weld, mirror and weld. Same. And I'm going to stitch this together. Well, first of all, we'll ZRemesh it. Target poly count 5. We're going to do 3. Let's try it at a 3. Okay. Let me smooth this out a little bit. Because ZRemesher really likes to hold on to hard edges. So if you have a hard edge, it's going to put more edges there to try and hold on to it. Hey, Slinky Wiz, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. How are you doing? Thanks for dropping by. There we go. Okay. And that's probably, it's probably overkill at this point with that many, so I could probably take it down to a 2. Hit it again. Even less. Okay, let's stitch this together. I'm going to duplicate it. And since I like these torsos, I'm going to duplicate or delete the old torsos that I don't need. Just kind of keep it clean. All right. When you do have to create your own design, do you do a 2D sketch first or do you jump directly in 3D? Mike, that's a fantastic question, and it all depends on your personal concept design skill level. Okay, so my personal concept design skill level is fairly low to medium. I'm not super confident when it comes to my drawing skills, so I will either I will commission a concept artist and I'll tell them what I'm looking for. And I've had several of I'm friends with a lot of fantastic concept artists, so I would prefer to commission someone to design it for me, and then I'll model it from there. But if you're absolutely into designing your own thing, you can concept in 3D. That's not a problem. It's just it's a little bit slower, and there's a lot of people that actually combine both 2D and 3D to help themselves out with their 2D drawing. So they will physically block something out in 3D, kind of, figure out all the dimensions in their mind and the proportions and the volumes, and then they'll print that out, or they'll render it out or print it out and then draw over top of it, because it'll give them their perspectives and their proportions and things like that. Then you can kind of go back and forth that way, which is nice. And then mostly concepting in 3D happens with, from what I've seen, happens with people who like to concept monsters. Like if you watch Ashley's stream, she makes a brand new monster every single stream, and it's fantastic to watch. It just blows my mind. So if you want to watch the way she concepts in ZBrush, it's on a different level. So yeah, you can check that out. There are occasional people who will concept stuff inside of ZBrush, or use both, or draw their own thing first. But like I said, me personally, I prefer to commission somebody who's really good at doing concept art, and then because I'm okay at modeling, so I'm like, okay, you do this thing, and then I'll model it. Yeah, Ash, A cubed. She goes by A cubed. She usually shows up. Well, not usually. Occasionally, she'll show up in this feed and say hi. So, yeah, you should definitely give her a watch. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Tom. Yeah, there's a lot of students in here that come watch. Yeah, sure, Mike. Not a problem. Okay. So I'm going to combine this now together. Is it a hobby for people who are bad at drawing? So I didn't used to be bad at drawing. I used to just draw when I was in high school and stuff like that. Somebody just asked this question on Facebook the other day. And I used to draw a lot. And I used to do a lot of figure drawing and stuff like that. And then I found sculpting. So I kind of migrated from drawing over to sculpting and modeling. It was actually modeling. I would do 3D models. Before ZBrush was a thing, I would do box modeling, traditional modeling in like Maya, 3D Studio Max, stuff like that. And I just kind of let my drawing skills drop a little bit. I still draw occasionally, but not nearly as much as I used to. So I could probably get my drawing skills back up if I practice, but I love sculpting so much that I just kind of went away from it. Okay. You have to say snake hook 3 times before Ashley will appear. That's kind of the running joke. So there's once. Okay. Okay, let's see. I want to stitch this together. And to remesh by union, just a little tip for you is it works best if you reset the gizmo by holding down Alt and tapping on this home button, and then holding Alt and tapping on this circle arrow button to put it back at 0, 0 and reorient it to the world. Otherwise, there's a good possibility you're going to get an error. Okay, so now that that's done, you just hit the gear, hit remesh by union, stitch this together. You can see the stitches down here, stitching the tail, fins to the tail. Thanks, Neil. I was waiting for that. Okay, and then hit accept, turn symmetry back on, because anytime you do a function inside of this gear, it automatically turns symmetry off up here. And then sometimes I'll forget, like you saw me forget, even though Neil reminded me, I still forgot. Oh. Okay, and then I'm going to ZRemesh this again. At 2. There we go. And it just kind of does its thing. Gets rid of those stitches. There we go. I'm going to ZRemesh one more time after I soften that thing out. It's looking weird. There we go. Okay, that'll do. And now I can get rid of my other tail now that I know that this one's going to work. Also, I keep backups in my other file. So after I do something big like this, I'll go and save it as the next iteration. So Mermaid 3. So I can always go back to 2 before, when it was still blocked out. Just gave her a bit of a muffin top. So I gotta fix the connection here, because I actually want the tail to overlap her skin, not the other way around. Okay. There we go. And that is how you separate something. If you already have it built. And am I working with ZRemesher guides? No, Pablo's a good friend of mine, and I'm helping him with his lessons and getting set up. But we're probably going to be, kind of helping each other out as far as marketing and things like that. But I don't do anything particularly on his side or vice versa. But we're good friends, and we talk to each other and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's doing some fantastic stuff over there, ZBrush guides. Especially with lighting, and he's been using. I've been blown away with how he uses the brand new materials in 2019. The filters on the render filters are so cool. And Greg, yes, this is 2019. I don't have 2019.1 loaded yet, although I downloaded it. I haven't loaded it yet. I want to, so I want to try that split screen thing. I need to really show that off. It's only because you forget, Neil. It's so easy. Okay. How can I make the suit parts with thickness and keep the body detail from the body? So you have to Mandagon there. You just need to put it in a different subtool after you've split it off. That way you're not messing with the original body. You just split it off into its own subtool, and then there's no way to accidentally move it around or anything like that. So I think you're ZRemesher guides, James. Are you talking about? Oh geez, I'm dummy. So James, yeah, they're two different things. There's a guy that he does ZBrush tutorials and he's called ZBrush guides. Anyway, ZRemesher guides I don't really use much. Sorry. Oh gosh. ZRemesher guide curves. Thank you for clearing that up so I could. Anyway, I don't use them much because they're not very predictable, in my opinion. Sometimes you can get them to work pretty good, but for the most part, I have a hard time with getting them to follow the way I want them to. With the brand new ZRemesher, it actually works better if you use polygroups to define your edge loops. And I did that with her face, I believe. Looks like maybe I didn't. Anyway, I've done it in the past, and you can actually see the loops and being driven by the polygroups, which is more predictable. So yeah, James. Anyway, that's how you. There you go. All right, now I feel dumb. I did it last week to the face. Okay, I can't remember because sometimes I don't always stick to the same workflow every single time. I'll try different things. I'm going to pull these shoulders in. So they're looking a little strange, being so far out there. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't know if he was asking. I thought it was about like how do I not touch the body after I've made the suit. So I didn't think he was asking how to actually make it. But yeah, you can just paint a mask on there and use extract right here if you want to do it that way. That's one way. I prefer drawing my topology on with the topology brush and then extracting that. And if you watch my past some of my past ZBrush live streams, you'll see me do just that. But sometimes I'll do the extract method. It just depends on what you like. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna build up this the chest cover. And I'm actually going to draw the topology on right now. You're trying to mask the parts I want to extrude and then make a new subtool and use ZRemesher, but it's smooth some of the body anatomy. Yeah, you need to, after you've extracted it, so I can just show you really fast. Okay, so I'll just do it with her. I'll build it out that way with her. So if you make a mask, you solo it, and I'm going to actually hide her arms. Okay. And then mask around the back like this. And this is a pretty simple piece. It's just going to be like a, just a piece of cloth that wraps around the front like this. Anyway, you just go down to extract and hit it like this. and it'll give you a preview of what it's going to look like. So that's the thickness it's going to give you. And it looks ugly at first, but I'm going to hit accept. Actually, I'm going to change the thickness down to 0.01 and hit it again. It'll make it less thick, okay? Here I can rotate her and hit it again. You can see kind of the preview. The mask isn't perfect. It's kind of warbly, so it's going to make it warbly like this. Now, but say I'm happy with this. That's probably as good as I'm going to get it. Then I hit accept, which is going to put it in its own subtool right here like this. Okay, and now I have it. It's just kind of a mess like this, but it gives you a polygroup on the front and a polygroup on the back. And what I usually do with it at this point is I want to clean it up, right? So you can take smooth and just kind of go around the edges like this and smooth it up. I can get rid of the creases, so I'll uncrease all. And just kind of clean up the edges, make them. And this is exactly why I don't really use this method, because it's like you're fighting those warbles. Okay. But when I use this method is when there's more detail, like lace and things like that. I like to use this method. Okay, so once I have that, what I can do is I can ZRemesh it. So I'm going to turn this down to 2 because this piece is really small. Maybe even a 1. Hey Stephen from Switzerland, how's it going? Currently working on your Psychra anatomy model. Oh, fun. That's a good exercise. Okay, so I'm gonna go down below 1, like 0.5, just to try it and see what it's gonna give me here. There we go. So now it gives me this, and it's better topology to clean up, right? So I can clean this up, and it helps me get rid of the warbles even more. And now it looks like a kind of this band that I can go back in here and even reduce the count more. Hit ZRemesher again. It gives me even less, even fewer polygons. Okay, so that's the one way you can do that with extraction. And then unhide her arms. And it kind of looks like this. Does that make sense? That's one way of doing it. And the other way is, like I said, the other way is drawing the topology on. That's the way I usually prefer, just because it's more, I have way more control. It's much cleaner. And you can, I guess I'm just going to keep this since I've already done it. Then I want it to look like bands, right? So what I'm going to do is just use that and just start making some bands. You draw it with the topology brush right here. Just draw it on the surface. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate this, turn symmetry off, and then pull this one down. Yeah, there's at least 3 ways to do everything, if not more. Seriously. Because another way I could do it is I could take her body and just delete what's not this and then extrude it, right? I could just delete everything except for those pieces. And I do that a lot with clothing that's like pants or something like that. Okay. Duplicate. Do the last one. this go? Wrap around the front. Hey, what's up, Side Effects? 2019 is what I'm using. You can see it right. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh, it's hidden behind the thing. Yeah, this is 2019. And I've heard that the 2019.1 is quite stable. I'm having a lot of fun. You're not having fun? What does Bob Ross say? Every day's a good day when you sculpt. But he says when you paint. Every day's a good day when you paint. I haven't ever used Remesh by Union. How does it act different? Remesh by Union, I showed it several times during this stream if you want to watch it back. But Remesh by Union essentially stitches the meshes together without rebuilding the entire mesh. It's pretty nice. Oh, your sentence was wrong? Okay. I was wondering. Okay, I'm going to combine these three together just by merging them down. Okay, like this. And I want to make sure they're watertight, meaning if I ever want to 3D print this, see that big gap? I want it to be close to the body so it's not going to give me any problems. Okay, let's add some color to this now. And then I'll do the eyelashes, and I'll show you how to use the topology brush. Baymax, I don't know where they're at on that. I heard they're still working on it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're doing with it at this moment. It looks cool. So I'm just kind of filling each piece bit by bit, and I have to show the ring in order to select the colors off of an image. If you don't have the ring showing, it's just going to select the color of whatever your background canvas color is. Let's see what color this is. Interesting. It's like a greenish. How do you click and choose subtool on a model? You just hold down Alt and tap on it. That's all. Is it possible to make the icon smaller? I've already set the icon size at the lowest level, but they still look too big for me. The best thing to do is increase the resolution on your monitor. Otherwise, yeah, if you've already shrank them down under preferences, where is it at? Interface. Yeah, have you changed this button size down to the smallest it'll go? Is that what you're talking about? So yeah, you'll want to scroll that down and then reset ZBrush, like save it and restart it for it to take effect. Otherwise, you won't see it until you restart it. I don't know, Baymax. I'm not sure. I don't work for Pixelogic. I just volunteer to stream here, so I haven't tested that out yet. But I just heard that build is very stable, so it's probably the case. Okay, I forgot to stitch the head and the body together. So I'm going to save this as a version before I do that. I don't use, and I'm not a big user of GoZ very much. I should use it more. But I usually just export FBX and OBJs. So, hey, what's up, Bombag? Okay. So I need to get rid of this, see the seam between the body and the neck here. I'm going to solo these just to see what it looks like. Looks like I have a mask going on or something on the eyes. Or paint of some sort. There it is. Okay. That was strange. Okay, I need to open up the mouth a little bit because I'm going to stitch these two together. And if the mouth is closed, it's going to stitch the mouth closed. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to turn Topological on, change it to 3 on my move brush. And open this mouth up as best as I can. I just need to make the opening not touch the lower lip if I can help it. And use smooth to get it away from itself, like that. And then I'll close it after I stitch it. Okay, it looks like they're the same density. Merge this down. I don't think I'm going to keep groups, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Keep groups. Let me just stitch this first. So this is what happens when you hit remesh by union. It puts a, can you see the stitching right here? Around the neck. I want to check the lips. It looks like it did not stitch the lips, which is great. You hear George McFly every time. Okay. So now, now that this is done, hit accept and turn symmetry back on, and then ZRemesh, keeping groups. Okay, which gets rid of the stitches. But I want to check that face. I'm going to turn. I want to turn smooth groups way down and see what happens here. Okay, that's better. I'm going to check the before and after just to see. Okay, it didn't really change the volume of the hands too much. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, let's show everything again. And I can close her mouth back up. Hey, what's up, Elfie? You got the times mixed up again? It's easy to do. It's hard because I'm personally am in mountain time and Pixelogic is in California, so they're Pacific time. I was going to say specific. They're specific time. Okay, I'm messing up her lips now. So I want to grab inflate in the corners, and just inflate helps you close them. But it also will inflate it, so you have to be careful. All right. Where has mountain time besides Colorado? So I'm in Utah. And I believe New Mexico is mountain time. Wyoming. I'm not sure if North and South Dakota, not sure what time zone they're in. Diego, it's going on right now. So if you're interested in joining us right now, what you can do is go to, I'll just show you. Go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Right here. I also give away these brushes for free and this user interface for free. If you want my brushes and user interface, you just go click on the grab them right here and just fill in your name and email and you can get these brushes for free. Also, if you're interested in my workshop, you can click here and, oh, come on, there it goes. And this will tell you a little bit about it and then click yes, watch the presentation now. Also another name and email, and if you then it's just a really short, like 23-minute video that tells you all about the course. You can find out if you're interested or not and sign up if you are. So it'd be awesome to have you in there, man. What brush am I currently using? This is I was using the pinch brush. So this is one of my brushes, pinch brush. It's essentially like the Ma cut brush. It started as a Ma cut brush, and then I did some tweaking to it. And now it's kind of a pinch brush that's not, it's not so, it's more subtle than the ZBrush pinch brush. It's a little different. Okay. Yes, Doug, that's part of the kit that you get if you go get those free brushes. Just over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com, you grab the brushes and all of these. See these icons that don't look like this? These are all brushes that I've made right here. And then the hard paint brush and the soft paint brush and this insert multi-mesh brush. Yeah, they're the brushes that I use all the time. So go grab them if you want. And there's also a video on the download page that walks you through how to install them and how to use them. So it talks about the ruler and how to use the ruler to go back and forth between other programs and how to use it for 3D printing and stuff like that. That's all inside the video after you download the brushes. So you can check that out. Okay, I'm gonna make these eyelashes with the topology brush. I know you guys are wanting to see how to do that. Okay, so I essentially will just start, let's make sure I'm on the head. Yeah, and it doesn't look like, so you can see these thumbnails over here and how this one's still gray. That's an indication that I have not filled this model with this color yet. So that means I could change the color over here and it's gonna change the color of the model still. See that? Doug, I don't know what... I wish I got that. Okay, so I'm going to change it back to this and then fill it. Thanks, my Dixie. How's it going? Game of Thrones. Oh, that's why. All right. I'm sorry. I'm one of those jerks that haven't watched it. But I don't tout that I didn't watch it. So I've started to. And it's not because I want to make a statement about it. It's this because I haven't had the opportunity. Which is weird because I'm huge into like dragons and fantasy and all that kind of stuff. It's just bizarre that I haven't watched it. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I want to add her collarbones in here, even though they're not super apparent in Tom's drawing. Is it normal that ZRemeshing gets rid of the poly paint? Absolutely, because ZRemeshing is literally rebuilding your mesh. So if you want to keep, you'll essentially have to refill in the poly paint after you remesh. So if you want to keep it, you can duplicate it and project it back on, or you can just fill it again. Okay, I'm just trying to work this out here. The angle's too high, so I'm going to drag it down. Oh, thanks, Neil. Yes, this is a Tom Bancroft concept. I need to raise. I think I want to raise this a little higher, so it's higher on her chest, and take it out of symmetry a little bit more. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself because nobody's in the room, but I'm getting people, you know, speaking back to me in chat. It's just a weird experience. Streaming is strange sometimes. Okay, I keep saying I'm gonna make the eyelashes, and I go back and get distracted. So let's put these eyelashes in here. These are gonna be interesting because I'm only using this top left one for color. This is the actual concept down here. So I'm going to minimize this one and then bring this one back. These are the eyelashes I'm going after and the eyebrows that I'm going after. Just so we're clear. Okay, that's why her head shape is more like her. Yeah, Miss Macho. Yeah, I'm not, like I just said, I'm not making the mermaid in the colored picture. I'm making this one, and see how this is straps, not seashells. But I need to clarify with Tom what he wants. Okay. So I'm going to quickly make these eyebrows first. And this is essentially all you have to do is draw your topology on the surface, and then just tap it to give it thickness. It's that easy, super easy. And then I usually hit split to unmask points, which will split it off into its own subtool. And then I want to color it like a almost black, but not quite. Like this. And I want to clear out the creases. And then to shape them a little better so they're more like the concept. Okay. Thanks, Neil. Is that another one you have on like a saved key? Oh, Miss Macho, what do you use for the faded keyboard? It's called Noah board. It's NOH board. And then I just use, I key it out so I can make a green screen of it on the background of the keys, and then you can chroma key it right out of there. So that's, and then you can just turn down the opacity. It's pretty sweet. Kurth, how do you bring those references images into ZBrush? You can just do it inside of the texture. So you import a texture right here, and then you click on the texture, and then you hit this add to spotlight button up and down right here, and that will just add it, and then it will give you this ring that you can then use to manipulate the object, move it around, and then you can adjust the opacity like this. Yeah, and then you hit Z or Z to turn that off, and then just make sure that you have this spotlight projection turned off. And this is my custom user interface, and it comes with this menu that pops up, so I have that spotlight projection on that menu. And like I said, if you want this custom UI, you can go grab it over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You're asking me to make something. Let's see. That's not a bad concept. That's pretty nice. Y'all have to think about it. Let's see. MerMay might be over. Yeah, it'll be over by the 3rd. So I don't know if I'm gonna do another mermaid or not. We'll see. I need to. I'm really thinking about doing a longer sculpt. Okay. So I might figure that out. Okay, let's go back to making these eyelashes. And I'm just going to start them right here and then kind of go up like this. Whoop. Like that. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. And I think I want to put a few more in here on this one, make it a little more dense. Okay. And the reason I turned her to the side is just because of the natural arc in my arm is better from the side like this. Okay. Now just tap on the surface, give it thickness. And same as I did with the eyebrows, just split them off with split unmasked points. And then go in and adjust the thicknesses of everything. Turn off the creases. It'll automatically put creases on there. A little too quick still. Oh, Mitch Leaway? Okay, let me see. Oh wow, that one's pretty crazy, right? Jeez, that would be a challenge for sure. Okay, and then I want to hook this up in the corner a little bit more than it is. I'm using the snake hook brush. If I say it one more time, Ashley's going to show up. I'm going to bring this out away from her head, so it kind of sticks on the plane of the eyelashes as it is. Okay, then I'm gonna I'm just gonna use a sphere and squish it for the eyes. Looks funny. So maybe not wrap it that much. Let me bring it from the front. So I need to try and match the arc of the circle, of the sphere. Yeah, it's making a pupil, but it's not what I want. Kind of cool though, huh? Okay, I'm going to split this off, and then I want to cut the back off. Makes her look like she's going, what? Like surprised. Oops. Okay. All right, let's go in here and get rid of the back. And I do that just by going select loop or select lasso and then hiding that portion, and then going auto groups, which puts everything in its own group that's in an island, and then just kind of isolate the fronts. Inverting, delete hidden. Now I just have these kind of discs. I'm going to flatten them out a little bit more. Okay, and they're too big, obviously. Local symmetry, there we go. That's better. So I think I want to add and kind of keep the black lines going around her eyes so they look grounded. They're looking way too bulgy right now, so I gotta figure it out. Hey, what's up, Afori? How's it going? Okay, and she is like super pale. I gotta fix that, the color. Super pale. So I'm just gonna darken her up just a bit. There we go. And then add some warmth, which I usually do that with the airbrush. Take it into some reds. I might even go with some pinks on this one, like clear into here, like this magenta, just because it's going to pull in from the tail colors. Maybe a little too pink. Maybe in here. Oh, good, thank you. Okay. Warm up her hands a little bit. You got to be careful because you don't want her to look sunburned. Okay. Now, sometimes what I like to do is go like a darker version of her skin and then do some kind of fake ambient occlusion stuff. Just a little bit. Just so she's not so even all the way across, you know? And then I'm going to fill the pupils with, I like to fill them with a material called toy plastic, which gives them kind of this highlight. See that highlight? Let's see, material, and then fill it, and then go back. The only problem with squishing spheres is it gives a really sharp turn on the edges of the disc. So the highlight kind of sticks to that edge and then gets big right through here. So what I really should do is even out the edges so the highlight kind of stays the same size. See, as I'm smoothing this out, the highlight gets bigger. Miss Macho, yeah, I actually go through that. Well, I go over that in the course, my 3D character workshop. I talk about retopologizing, UVing, and then baking maps. But I do it inside of Marmoset tool bag, and I also do a student-only live stream on Wednesdays for my students, and we're going to be taking a character into Substance Painter to do the final texture work. But we're building him inside of ZBrush. Anyway, I'll need to go through and fix that. That helps a little bit, but not too much. Okay. I'll look at her eyes. I'm trying to decide if I want to, what I want to do with the lines around her eyes to just kind of, you know, make them look like they're part of her head instead of just kind of stuck in there. One thing I can do too is I can project them. So I'm going to hide everything except for the eyeballs like this. And you can project. You hit project all, it'll match the surface contour of that eye. But before I do that, it's actually trying to match the low resolution version of the eye, which is in dynamic state. So I'm going to hit apply first. Then project all. I'm going to grab the color before I do. Project all. And then if I pull it out from the surface, let's see. I'll fill it again. See, I pull it out from the surface and now it's stuck there. Now it matches. Dan, I usually save tools. It's funny you asked that because that's like module 1, lesson 1. That's exactly what I talk about. And I save tools. But I do have one project, and that is my ruler project. And the reason I have a ruler project is because, so it's right here, this ruler project. And that comes with my free brushes if you want to grab it. But the project will save a lot of your settings. So it's like I open the project first every time I sit down to use ZBrush, and then I load the tool into that project. Yeah, Ms. Macho, there's a brush that matches the curve, but it's just not as predictable. It's a little harder to use. But I use that a lot on making some of those playset pieces for Disney Infinity. Because we had to curve lettering and things like that to match a curved surface quite a bit, and we would use that match curve brush, which worked pretty well. Okay, material, fill. There we go. See how that's working better. I'm actually going to fill these eyeballs with that material as well, so the highlight will keep going. And then if I go back to skin shade 4, there we go. Now the highlight's working much better. See that? Because I matched the surface. Much better. You're pre-101. It's all good. Okay. I want to get the eyelash closer to her pupil back here. So it doesn't look like she's so surprised. Just kind of bring that up a little bit. Okay. You'll buy in one of these days? Cool. Yeah, there's something about this that's not jiving with me. I'm trying to figure it out. I might just start working on the hair and maybe it's those eyes from 3/4. I know the pupils are still too big, or the irises are still too big. That's why it's nice to have them as separate objects, because I can test the size with them. It's looking a little better. Maybe get it closer to the middle. Looking better. I want to see how big they are in the head. They're pretty dang huge. But they could probably be bigger. So the larger the eyeball inside the head, the less of a curvature you'll see on the outside. So I'm going to merge this down and just see what I can do with getting them bigger. Then they'll start popping out the side of the head and stuff like that. Bert? See how they're bulging less? Do you have any suggestion on creating a character with 4 fingers? You just kind of create it with the same as you do a normal hand. You just kind of, instead of continuing it down like this, you just continue it from the ring finger down. Yeah, it's pretty much the same anatomy, just -1. I don't know how to really sell it other than that. Let me shrink this down, bring it out. I might have to project this again onto the eye again. That's feeling a little better, not so bulgy. I'm gonna bring these eyelashes down though. I need to give her some real eyelids too. Like back behind there. It looks awful. Yeah, it's difficult. It's without actually building one and showing you how to do it, it's kind of difficult to explain how to do it. Okay, I'm going to apply the subdivision levels so I can actually pull her eyelids out. Yeah, you can look at The Simpsons, you can look at Mickey Mouse, you can look at most cartoon characters have 4 fingers. here. Just going to hide. There we go. She looks mad. Funny. Give her some lower eyelids here. It should help a lot. Do it one more time. Sorry, I'm all quiet. I'm trying to focus here for a minute. Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, I need to shrink that down. I did shrink it down earlier today, but it wasn't enough. Getting some weird line. It looks like a curve in there or something. I don't know what's causing that little line. Oh, I'm trying to get her to look not so dang surprised. It's usually what you do is the top of the iris touches the upper eyelash or eyelid. So see, if I set this down like this, it instantly makes her look not surprised, right? So I might just change her neutral pose to have her eyelashes down and not so up. Because in 3D, it just makes her look like she's surprised. Surprise! Okay. Yeah, they are super high. That'll go a long way, actually. Whoops. It's moving. Here. Move her eyebrows down. About right there. Yeah, now that I have her eyelids in, maybe like this. I need music. Another question, which program do you prefer for painting characters? I see your workflow and I know that you paint in ZBrush and bake it in Marmoset, but do you suggest using Substance or 3D Coat? So Substance is great for applying materials. Come on. But it's not really the best for painting. I wonder if I have a curve or something on there. You guys see that little line? I think it's a curve. Curve, delete curve. Yep, there it is. Gone. All right. There's a curve on there. A 3D code is pretty good for hand painting text or hand painting characters. But just plain old Photoshop is good. Yeah, it just depends on where you want to do your texture work. But I do most of mine in ZBrush with poly paint. And then I bake my color from here down in Marmoset or Substance, either one of them. That's just my personal workflow I like to use. Because just the only I guess if it's a gripe, not really a gripe, but the only thing I wish about poly paint was that it was more editable. Instead of having to repaint it again and again and again if I want to change like a color or something. Because of its nature, it's vertex coloring, meaning I'm coloring the points. If I wasn't coloring the points and it was actually in a layer or something like that, I can go in there and edit the overall color all at once. So what I'll typically do is, hey, what's up, Overton? What I'll typically do is I will take it into, I'll bake it and then I'll take it into like Substance Painter or something that allows me to do hue shifts and things like that. So I can get my base in here and then I can take it into like Substance or Photoshop and then do some bigger changes in there. Hey, no worries, Overton. My pleasure. Do you like that? Do you like that video? The video feedback that way? That's kind of a new thing I'm doing. So Overton's one of my students, and he was asking me a particular question about an insert multi-mesh brush, and I'm using this new thing where I can quickly make a video. It was like what, 2 minutes or something like that, a minute or 2 minutes, and I just recorded a really fast video and then posted it in the student community for him to check out. And it was fast, and it's quicker than trying to type up an explanation of how to do something. Awesome. Glad you liked it. Okay, so I want to try and give her some colored lips. Those are some colored lips. Hey, Fabian, how's it going? You win the internet. Just today. Oh, I'm painting with material. Those are some pink lips. Let's see. Just want to get closer so I can actually eye drop. The top lip is this color, this darker color. And then the bottom lip's like a lighter pink. Francois, how are you? Everybody's hanging, dropping by today. It's cool. Thank you so much for dropping by. Hello, hello. Looks like, all right. Just gonna get in here and get a little more detailed with this stuff. And then what I can do is you can pick the skin color and just kind of go back on the opposite side of it. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll grab the airbrush with the skin color and just dust over the top of it to bring it back to the in the same skin family. Skin family. It's the skin family. Just picturing Family Feud. Give her a little more of this poofy cheek that's happening. She's got super poofy cheeks. Even less of a chin. I'm afraid to give her less of a chin because it's just, typically it's not as appealing. Okay. Been thinking about using my iPad Pro and Duet display to dabble with ZBrush. I don't know, Switcheroo. I don't know. I don't know if that would work. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, you should give it a whirl. If it doesn't cost you too much money, you know, if you already have the iPad, might as well try it out. If it works, that'd be cool. I've never heard of that before. Hey, Dan, how's it going? How long have I been streaming now? An hour and 37 minutes. So I'm about to start on the hair. This is skinless. Oh, that'd be horrible. Right? The spineless family. Just trying to reduce her neck. Okay. I'd better save this. All right. Now her hair is going to be pretty interesting because it's like, I want to say slabby. It's like slabs, like big slabs of almost square, like taffy. First time watching you on stream, but I always watch your videos from time to time. Thank you so much, David. I'm glad you could drop by. I appreciate it. All right. There's some warbles underneath here. Use iPad Pro pencil in an app called AstroPad. So can you use that with ZBrush, Dan? Okay. I kind of just, you know, I love that Macon hairbrush so much. I might just try that. Just use that. So let's just, I'm going to try and block it in and see what I get. And then if I hate it, I'll switch it up. But let's try it. I just like it for the stream because I can get so far in such a short amount of time. The slabby family. Okay, so for the first one, kind of take it. Oh, multiple subdivision levels? Really? Let's see. Oh, because I didn't select the hair. There we go. Like there's no subdivision levels on the hair. Got to change the stroke. All right. It's so strange that I can draw in one direction and it doesn't work, and I draw in the other direction and it does. So if I draw down, it doesn't stick to the surface, or it didn't. There it goes. Okay, I can work with that. Make it a little smaller. too far. I think I'm gonna just work with this. Okay, that'll work. Just tap to commit. And then use a snake hook. That means Ash is gonna show up soon. The third time. Maybe. I turn off symmetry so I can get these apart. So again, if you're wondering what hairbrush this is the Macon hairbrush, made by, originally by Benjamin Hale, and edited by Chris Whittaker, and you can find it on Funky Bunnies. He's just lurking, I bet. That'd be hilarious. Funky Bunnies. Oh, come on. Neil, do you have that link by chance? I'm not. I reset my my browser like a dummy and it got rid of all my search histories. Ah, here we go. Thanks, man. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Okay, here we go. So it's this one. It's Chris Whittaker's website, funkybunnies3d.com. That's why I couldn't remember. So if you go to Tools, go down to ZBrush Brushes, and it's this bad boy right here, Macon Hair Curves Brush. Yeah, so designed by Ben Hale, who goes by Macon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I'm doing my best. It's a really great brush because it kind of comes with the curves and things already built in. So it's like you're laying down a whole bunch of strands all at once. And then you just need to come in and kind of stretch them out and make them have the thick to thins and things like that after the fact. The volume. Put the volume in there. But sometimes you have to, I only use them during the streams really because it's fast. Because if I was to sit and use a different hair brush that had a whole bunch of different strands that I would have to manipulate each strand at a time. It's just very, very tedious work. Oh, thanks, Neil. I gotta try that. Anyway, the reason I say that is because people can see this hairbrush from a mile away. Not that that's a bad thing, but if you're looking to be unique, this isn't the way to do it. It's really easy to add warbles too. Okay, I'm going to add one more down the back. Maybe this one. This one. Okay, Neil, where are you talking? if you go to the picker, depth Z, it follows the surface. Are you talking about one? Oh, this one, continuous Z. Is this a thing that I didn't know about, Neil? Oh man. All right, Neil. Thank you, sir. Look at that. Woo! All right. I have a feeling somebody's told me this before, and I just I didn't really understand or realize what was being told to me. Okay, awesome. How cool is that? Thank you, Neil. Super cool. Okay. So now I'm just gonna edit this. Yay, fixed. Neil is the watcher of the day. Watcher. That's not a good title. Watcher. Right. Still learning every day. There's so many hidden things in this program. I'm not surprised anymore, but I still get surprised. Oh my gosh. So did you see that side effect? So Neil suggested that when I draw a curve, I go up to picker, go to depth, and the default is on once Z, and I changed it to continuous Z. Neil, how did you find that out? Who said that's a thing? And why isn't it built into the brush that way to begin with? That's the real question. Why isn't that on by default, right? Same with the brush stroke going from thick to thin. I wish it was even by default. You know, like, so, because by default it starts narrow and gets wide. I wish it was not that way by default, because I have to adjust it every single time. I wish there was at least a way to save it, you know? Oh, it was in Danny Mac's vid. Oh, okay. Danny Mac's the man. I'm sure Michael Pavlovich said it too, but he said it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I missed it. No, I love you, Michael. He's like he knows he talks fast. I met him at the ZBrush Summit last year. He's a fantastic guy. He is the ZBrush magician. He knows. I think he knows as much as like Joseph Drust or Paul Gaboury. You know. You had to rewind it about 6 times and then play it back on half speed. Poor Michael. He's blessed with speed. All right. See, I just love how this brush makes the hairs look like they have ends to them. Yeah, it's just kind of nice to work with, you know? Flowy hairs. Do you approach studying anatomy and applying it on stylized characters? Absolutely, David. Absolutely. But the difference is I don't study anatomy like a doctor would study anatomy. I study it based on Form, function, and silhouettes. It's almost like tips and tricks of anatomy that I look for, just like arm shapes and things like that. Yes, there's a reason why that arms are shaped that way, but I'm more interested in the shape rather than like what the muscles are called and how, you know, in all the tertiary muscles and everything inside there. I don't know the names of all the muscles or anything like that, so don't ask. I couldn't tell you. Can you show me maybe how to do seamless fish scales with alphas, or should I use nanomesh? Fabian, I would probably test both and see what kind of look you're after. Like if I was to do fish scales on her, I would probably do nanomesh. Yeah, I'd probably do nanomesh. I'm not going to. It's just too much struggle during a stream like this. So I'm probably not gonna try nanomesh here. I don't know. I might. We'll see how far I get. Yeah, it's almost time to stop streaming, but anatomeat. Yep. So I like to, when I'm talking about anatomy, I just call it meat, like eye meat or hand meat or whatever, like thick part of something, you know, like thumb meat is right here. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just like that thick part of the hand. So I just like to make it fun and interesting in ways that you would remember it when you come across it again. Okay. So I'm gonna try the wide cover again. Mouth bag. Yeah, mouth bag's that's not my thing. That's actually an industry thing. People calling it a mouth bag or a mouth cavity or okay. I think I can work with that. That's horrible. Oh, that's horrible. Eye meat. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up, Shaunik. Thank you. I'll have to check that out. I really, really love Proko's stuff. So Proko.com, he teaches figure drawing via anatomy, and he has a really nice way of also making it entertaining, and he does get into the nitty gritty as far as like what things are named. Got to clear that curve out, but he makes it entertaining enough that you don't get bored with it. You know, it's not like you're sitting at a. I just picture learning anatomy like sitting at one of those big giant college lecture rooms, lecture halls, like just falling asleep with some lecturer at the front of the class just going, this is the, you know, whatever, whatever he's trying to teach you. He or she. Bueller. That would just bore me to tears. But I respect people that go through that. Learn all that stuff for sure. Like Ryan Kingsland, I think he knows all of everything, all the muscles. Water balloons. There you go. Hey, that's it. That's a good way to do it. Water balloons. I like talking about muscles with an apex, like the peak where it sticks out the most, and then where it comes in the furthest. That's what makes most sense to me. And then the curve to get you from the shallowest point to the apex. You know, what does that curve look like? You know, that's what makes most sense to me. And I've gotten away with it so far. Okay. But thank you. Thanks, Shanique. Is that your name? Shanique? I don't know how to say it. Thank you so much for the tips. I'm gonna go check it out. Okay, let me do one more. B. Let's try this one on this side. Neil, that makes all the difference in the world, my friend. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, man. I'm not going to say anything, Overton. I'll get in trouble. See if I can get this into place in the next 2 minutes. I want to put a single hair down the middle right through here, or maybe two, just like Tom's got it here. I'm using the snake hook brush on this one. When I'm editing hairs, instead of the move brush, I'll typically either use the snake hook brush or the move elastic, because it moves things in it's more squishy, I guess is the best way to say it. It's a little squishier than the move brush. Well, thank you so much, Zara. That's how you say your name. Cool name. A Cubed is completely over. She must be out of town on holiday. I don't know. Yeah, the hair doesn't quite match what Tom has. But I think the way Tom has drawn it is more for 2D animation, just for simplicity and speed, and less as far as the look is concerned. I kind of like one piece a little light green and the rest a darker green. It's kind of like Rogue or whatever her name is from X-Men. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna pull. So I keep the, you saw me block out the shape of the hair, and it's still in there. You can see it here and there, like in front of the ear here. But but right here it's just straight across and looks weird. So make sure I move that out of the way. Sean, no, it's always great to get information from several sources instead of just one, because like you said, maybe the way one person explains it will make much more sense than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it all depends. Sometimes like I had the hardest time with math in school, and I had this teacher in college, and the way he taught math just completely made sense to me. And after that, I'm like, okay, I get it now. I just thought I was an idiot because I'm an artist and I don't get math. But just the way, it's all about the way people teach it, And I think that's a lot of the reason people enjoy the workshop that I do, is just the way that I teach it. It's not like it's new information that's out there. It's just, can you absorb it based on the way the person is telling you, you know, how to learn it. So anyway. Your wife, Charlie. All right. So I think we're not exactly right on the mark as far as her likeness goes, but I think we're kind of getting closer. Let me do one more little hair. Just a single little guy, maybe two, right here. Okay, I'm gonna commit. Let's see. Let's make that smaller. It's kind of a weird, it doesn't taper at all, which is kind of weird. And these hairs are interesting because if you try and smooth them, then you're gonna lose these nice hard edges. So you have to be super careful with using the smooth brush with these. And a tiny smile. Mike, I think I don't know if you said something before that, but I might have missed what you said before. The Restream chat, the chat that I'm using to view multiple streams, it's been having issues. I think they're working through them, but sometimes I feel like I miss messages. That might be one of the messages I'm missing. Save it. 24-hour day down. You know, I don't know if I could stream for 24 hours. I just don't have the stamina. Maybe if I could figure out how to make my desk stand. This is a standing desk. If I could figure out how to make the camera move with me as I make the desk go up and down, I could probably do it. Yeah, at least it stopped crashing. That's true. You know. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this one. Oh, a little smile. Oh yeah, for sure. I can give her. Yeah, she's kind of deadpan face. I'll give her a little smile, a little smirk before we go. Yeah, that. Okay. Topological and masking they're not friends. So if your model is masked, it's best to turn topological off. I want to taper this more without making warbles. It's really hard, and without using smooth. Okay. Yeah, I missed her earrings. Let's give her. Let me see if I can draw some in really quick. So here's kind of a trick you guys can do with that. Is I'm going to select her head. Actually, insert multi-mesh doesn't work with objects that have multiple subdivision levels. So I'm going to actually make them as part of her hair, but insert them on her head. So if I just make a sphere like this, actually I'm going to turn on symmetry, make spheres. Kind of messed up the symmetry for some reason. Maybe I'll make them as part of her eyebrows. It doesn't matter which subtool you have selected when you insert a multi-mesh. It just can't have subdivision surface levels. Okay, so I'm going to draw this on the surface, then split to unmask points. And what it does is it puts the gizmo at the draw location in the pointing out of the surface normal that you drew it on. And what's cool is now I can go into this gear and pick Ring 3D. Oh, come on. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So you can see the Ring 3D. I don't know what, it should have replaced the sphere. Instead, it just added the ring. So I'm going to have to delete the ring. Okay. So let's go back to Gizmo 3D and delete that ring. What in the world? Why did it not split it? Oh, it looks like it made a whole new poly group or subtool. That's weird. Okay, well, we can just delete this. Grab the earrings and then turn them so they actually look like they work. I don't know if they're this doesn't look like a ring. It looks more like not a ring. But I'm going to make rings and make them actually kind of go through her ear. Something like that. Okay. Her face expression. She's kind of like, she's scared and she wants to stop talking to you and leave. She's like, you know, like, I'm out of here. Stop talking to me, creep. Let's put an asymmetrical smile on her, maybe. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up right here. I'll put her in a pose or something. I'll ask Tom, get together with Tom and see if he wants to put her in some kind of a pose. And there's also like she's got a little seal friend, like a little walrus, not walrus. It's like a sea lion friend. That's like a companion kind of a deal, sidekick. Might be kind of fun. All right, you guys, let's put it in perspective here. Turn on perspective. Yeah. It'd be fun to do some scales and things like that, but that's how far we got today. There's a lot more I want to do and fix her, but I think she turned out okay. Yeah, her eyes need to be much different. Things like that. I always stand back and assess and then come back in, and so yeah, and it's always good to walk away, you know, and come back and go, oh man, there's so much wrong and I need to get in there and fix it. Do you have several poses to do for a character? When you have several poses to do for a character, do you do them with the transpose tool all the time? If I have several, then I most likely will retopologize, UV, and rig. But if I have a few, like 2, maybe 3, then yes, I'll just use the T-pose mesh inside of ZBrush. And I like it just fine. It works pretty well. So anyway, hope that answers your question. Again, if you're interested in grabbing these brushes and this user interface and my ruler file, you can always go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and they're for free up there. You just sign up for the newsletter and I'll give them to you for free. And it also comes with my custom menu, which is right here. You just have to assign that to a hotkey to make it come up. I assign it to hotkey number 2 on my keyboard, and then I assign it to the back button on my pen so I can just pop it up anywhere. It makes the workflow super fast. Also, I teach an online course. If you're interested in learning this stuff for longer than just a few hour stream like this, then I have an in-depth workshop. It's called the 3D Character Workshop, where I go into a lot of detail, including posing and rigging, or not rigging, sorry, doing retopology, UVs, and map baking, that kind of stuff. So you can prepare it for rigging. I also go over 3D printing and how to render in Keyshot, a whole bunch of stuff like that. I have interviews. I interview people in the industry and a community. It's really fun. So if you want to come be part of the tribe, go check out 3dcharacterworkshop.com. There's a button down there. You can watch a presentation and see if it's right for you. And if it is, feel free to join us. So thanks again, you guys. Tune in next week. Yep, same time, same channel. I'll see you next week it's noon my time, but it's 11 a.m. Pacific time. So, all right, take care and have a wonderful week, everyone. You're awesome. Thanks again for hanging out. We'll see you. Cheers.